Okay, we are back. I'm pretty positive that we rested up and filled up our gas tanks before we quit yesterday. It's the nice thing about streaming on a daily basis here. I'm actually remembering what I did last time. And we are in Nevada right now. We've finally gotten out of Washington and Oregon. So we are going to be looking for another place to go, and we are really close to paying off our truck. We're very close to paying off our loans. We owe $9,284 still. So our goal is to pay that off, and we should be able to do this in one more job. And then we are immediately going to go and make debt because we are going to basically look at buying a new truck and hiring a new driver. And then we will finally be really a trucking company. It won't just be an owner operator. We'll actually be a trucking company. All right, so that'll take us to Colorado. I like the look of that. That's a lower weight unit as well. So, and the pay is kind of ridiculously good. 36,000? That'd be excellent. It's a relatively mundane, like it's just a regular van load. It's a B train, but just a regular B train. Okay, let's do a quick look around the truck to make. Yeah, I just parked in the middle of the parking lot here. That's fine. Uh, we get over there, pick up the load, see if we can't finagle a slightly different layout. Although the B train might be the more interesting configuration we have available anyway. So I kind of want to haul that trailer with the two forklifts, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be going where we want to go. Yeah, it is headed up to Idaho, which honestly wouldn't be a bad drive. That would still be new roads, but we can go to Colorado. Let's go to Colorado. Plus, the pay on this is kind of ridiculously good. But it is hazardous goods. Okay, so fireworks at 37,000 pounds. Let's see what our other options are. That's is the configuration we were before. If we go for the smaller setup that reduces our payout and reduces, wait, and goes heavier. We get paid less, but but we're carrying more. Oh wait, no. What I'm doing is getting distracted and moving the tableware options around. We do not have interest in moving tableware. That is going to be, it's not going to be cost effective because we'd have to reduce the amount of weight we're carrying by a ton. Yeah, so 33,000 pounds of fireworks under that configuration. 23,000 pounds that way. Hey Jedi, how's it going? Yeah, so 33,000 pounds might be the most weight of fireworks we're going to get away with here, which I am very okay with. So if we just get this in one trailer, then yeah, we're down to 24,000 pounds in fireworks. Oh, 37,000. So this is the original. The original is the best paying and the heaviest while still being light enough for our single axle truck to actually be able to move it. It's got to be our trailer because it's the double, but it doesn't actually look like it's. Wait, no. That right there is going to be our trailer. All right. We'll just, go over the curve a little bit. I am doing good. I am on. Basically, my goal this week was to stream every day, and I am on day 3 of 5. So far we're going strong. And we're making good progress with American Truck Simulator. There's been part of me that's been tempted at looking at a way to make the game more difficult because I do feel like the progress happens a little bit more quickly than I would like. But I'm spending my time day playing American Truck Simulator, so I can't complain about a lot. Okay, so let's get this onto the highway and head over to Colorado. So we are going to be going through Utah to get to our destination. And it's going to be another 9-hour trip. But hopefully after this, we'll be able to buy a truck with a sleeper, or at the very least, a double rear axle. So we'll be able to haul a bit more weight. I think our limiting factor is still going to be engine, really, on how much weight we really want to carry. But it will be nice to have more capacity and also possibly have a sleeper, which means we can. Basically, I'll allow myself to take jobs that are too long to do in one trip. Sorry, car, but you're gonna have to make some life choices. Changing to the other lane and just going past me would be the best one, but seems like you're not interested in that one. So I think this is going to be a relatively boring run, simply because it's going to be, I think, pretty straightforward. If we take a look at the map we're doing, we basically just go over to Salt Lake City, down to Provo, and over to Grand Junction. Honestly, I feel like that's more like none of the roads in this game are like super just clear cut and straight. even when you're on you get some of these highways that really do go straight, but they're still have some interesting bits to them. Still, compared to a lot of the runs we were doing in the small little roads around Washington, this is going to be pretty much entirely just on big highways, which I feel like also does make it more accurate to what truck drivers actually do day to day. And of course, we've got to pull in for the weigh scale. It still is kind of funny to see this as just a single axle big rig. Going to look forward to get into something a bit more typical. Yeah, this is definitely the sort of game, especially since like the ideal way to play this. All right, we're going to do this the dumb way and just wait for them to pass by. A small car can get out of the left lane. Or sorry, into the left lane, out of the right lane. But yeah, so like the best way to play this would be with a steering wheel. I would love to get a nice steering wheel set up. I'd probably also at that point set up a camera. I'm too low here. I'd probably also set up a camera at that point to actually show me driving in the setup, because I think that'd be cool. But I play with an Xbox controller, so why not have this game on Xbox? There's no reason to not. You got games like Stardew Valley out on console. It's a game that really was built to work with a mouse and like Terraria was built to work with mouse and keyboard, and they make it work. There's no reason to not have it on console. Especially with the convoy capabilities, being able to play online with friends on console would be a ton of fun. Especially if they cross-platformed it. I honestly think everything should be cross-platform unless there's like a really compelling reason to not, but basically I am more likely to buy a game that I can play cross-platform than a game that I can't. So you'd think that they would really push for it. $73 and raining? Honestly, that sounds just about perfect. That's a very nice, reasonable temperature, and I honestly do like the rain. Sounds like an excellent day. Kind of want to pass this truck, but because we're doing 60 and a 70, but I know I can't go fast enough to make a reasonable pass. And in the video game, I'm not conveniencing anyone if I do it, but in real life, that'd be basically making everyone else suffer from me just wanting to get past a truck that I can't reasonably go much faster than. My day is going good, Michael. How's your day going? See, the thing about Scotland is I bet the rain in Scotland is much like the rain we have around here, and the fact that it is probably relatively cold. I feel like the best place for rain is in places like Central America. Like if you live in a area that's jungle, like my parents live down in Belize, and that's one of those areas. Man, do you get a lot of rain, but the rain's not cold, so it's the best part of having that rainy atmosphere. But it's not even like cold. I like it. But no, Scotland is definitely one of those very rainy places that would actually be. I would love to visit Scotland. I don't think I would want to live in Scotland. All right, we're just gonna do 80. We're managing to do 80 miles an hour. We're just gonna hold her there. Yeah, I also like to ride a motorcycle, which means I don't like near constant rain. Oh, look at. So you've graced me with your presence. Have you come to try to make me crash a truck? No, you're just gonna cover the YouTube comments with your butt? Yeah, that's fair. So, but see, Scotland isn't even that cold. It's rainy and cold. And that's actually for me. I'd like to take a nice long, expensive vacation, and basically go and like hang out in Tofino for a few months during the storm season. Just have like watching the storms roll in over the ocean would be such a beautiful, relaxing thing. I discovered a new viewpoint, but it's out here behind. Did I go past? Oh no, I. Yeah, but your peak temperature, the hottest it gets where you are, is basically the same as the max heat where I am. Difference being that we basically us hitting 110 degrees Fahrenheit happens very briefly. This is definitely an interesting viewpoint. So this is one of those places I'd love to visit in real life. The Bonneville Salt Flats. Just open desert. Just basically level, flat salt plains. I love the salt plains because you can really get that very, very big, open, flat sort of vibe. But you still always have mountains in the distance. That was the one thing that I always found, like going back to Manitoba is weird for me now, where I used to be very comfortable with a horizon that had nothing on it. But it's been so long since I've really looked at a horizon that had nothing on it that I just it's strange. It doesn't feel right anymore. Yeah, but the peak, like basically the hottest temperature record for Dallas is 113 degrees, which I don't actually know what the peak record for heat for in the Okanagan is. But I know last year we got to 110 degrees Fahrenheit, so I know we've gotten at least that warm. Yeah, I just love this right here. Drive across level ground. Got the trains going next to me. Got one idiot in a big rig trying to pass me. But basically you can look away because everything's nice and straight for a while. I do feel like this game is a little afraid to let the straight sections go on for as long as they really do. Because everything's a sort of shortened, condensed version of what it really is. And the game does a good job of it. Like, you don't necessarily notice how things are condensed. But basically, the distance between towns is tiny compared to real life. I think basically cities are built on a scale of about 1 to 3, so cities are actually about 3 times larger than they appear in this game. Something like that, 3 to 5 times anyway. But the sections between cities are actually 20 times longer. 20, like basically the areas between cities are 20 times bigger in real life than they are in the game. We made another loan installment. Drop 5 miles per hour on the speed limit and end up losing 20 miles per hour because people are slowing down. And they're not even taking that exit. Not sure what we're slowed down for. So what do you mean, how often do they keep up with the records? Because the records basically just go back as far as we have recorded the temperature. Records don't go out of date. It's just simply a case of when did someone first start recording the temperature in a place? That's how far back the records go. All right, we discovered Salt Lake City. need to be, no, we need to be exactly where we are. I'm slowing down because I'm paranoid, not because I actually need to be in a different lane. I think, anyway. Yeah, that way. We can't turn that way anyway. We need to be here. Okay. So that was a not sure where I need to go sort of confusion slowdown, but we were in the right place. We didn't panic. All life is good. It'd be a lot easier to have a cat in my lap and have a steering wheel than trying to control this game with a controller while having a cat that wants to cuddle my lap. So one thing I do find interesting about about how cold places get is, um, like I used to live in Manitoba, like negative 40 degrees Celsius. I guess negative 40. Negative 40 doesn't need to be Celsius Fahrenheit. It's negative 40 in both. But negative 40 used to be a relatively frequent temperature. Like I always thought negative 40 was cold, but negative 40 was tolerable. Like I survived negative 40 with, yeah, some complaining about how cold it was. But negative 40 negative 40 happened every year. That was not a, you were not complaining that holy crap, it's cold this year. We've got to negative 40. It was when it got closer to like negative 50, or past negative 50, because we did get past negative 50. That's where it just got too cold, and you're bitching about how cold that winter was. Now living in BC, you put me in like negative 25 is about the coldest I'm really capable of handling without starting to complain. I mean, that I kind of start complaining at about negative 15 now, but negative 25 is the point where I start to really complain about it, because negative uh, negative 25 is cold now. Negative 30, that's rare and an unusually cold temperature, and I hate it. But it used to be negative 20, negative 25 used to be nothing. Yeah, and that is, I should at some point look up the hottest temperature. Actually, no, I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna try to find the hottest temperature in the Okanagan, because the Penticton has hit 111 degrees Fahrenheit. But hold on, that is ridiculous. Looking at it, looks like Layton, BC, which is not in the Okanagan Valley, but it is still central BC, has hit a record temperature of 49.6 degrees Celsius. I'm going to have to convert that to actually see what it is. 121 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's the BC record for hottest temperature. So yeah, it does get hot in BC. It generally doesn't stay there. We get that sort of temperature for maybe 2 weeks of the year, and the rest of it is a lot less overwhelming. I mean, I didn't dig too deep, but that was definitely, there was a news article recording that as the temperature during one of the recent heat waves. I definitely do feel like the most of the heat records for BC have been set in the last few years. We've had much stronger heat waves than we normally have. Trying so hard to build some speed, but it ain't gonna happen. 37 miles per hour is about all we can manage here. Nope, not even. Yeah, we're losing speed. Oh, and there's another traffic jam because people don't know how to merge in this game. Not that they know how to merge in real life, but the merges in this game are especially bad. That was a Ukraine flag trailer. I support that. So now we're starting to get towards the landscape that for me feels weird. Yeah, basically this is a landscape that I would describe as old mountains. This is the sort of landscape where it's rocky. There used to be like this is a mountainous area. The mountains are like beat down and relatively like it's more just it's a rocky area, not sharp, fresh mountains. It's one of those places makes the land feel old, makes it feel ancient. The fact that it's basically mountains have risen up and then been beaten back down. All right, that's a would have appreciated a bit more warning over that, but we'll manage. guess we have to wait. I wanted to just sort of barge on traffic, but they can't change lanes. So we just gotta wait for traffic to go by and then pull out. I feel like the person we need to really dig into there and give us our records on hottest places and tell us how hot BC really gets is Jess. Jess is always very good at getting the articles and basically looking, all right, what are the sources and which of these are actually reliable. These are really weird merges. Like, these are terrible merges. There's no merge zone. It's just, all right, here you've met the highway. You want the lane to kind of come in and the angle slowly disappears until it's just a case of you just slip over into existing traffic and it's like you were always there. All right. Just gonna blow through here. Which, okay, actually, that's one thing I didn't notice before. So we are in Utah right now, which means we are in mountain time. The game by default has time zones off, and I just thought it's convenient to not have to deal with time zones, but also we should probably have to deal with time zones. Part of the fun of basically driving long distances is the place that you start your trip on. It doesn't exist in the same time zone as the place that you're going to end your trip in. So that is actually, I think, one of the trips I want to do at some point in this game is I want to go through Death Valley. It's one of those places I've always found interesting in real life. Okay, so basically there's something about the way it's coded that means it won't really work for consoles, so it's just too much work to put it on. That's disappointing, but I guess fair. Like, if it was easy, there would be no reason for them to not put it on console, so I guess that's understandable. That, right, I guess the fact that it's too difficult is I guess a predictable answer. Shouldn't be surprised. Oh, did some damage because I went off the road a little bit because I wanted to check. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of games like console or like simulation games used to just be they didn't get built for consoles. They only got built for computers. But that's not really the case anymore. It's a case of you can have simulation games go for a console and they do really well. Well, I mean, there are some games that basically there's no easy way to move them onto console because of the way they've been programmed. They've been programmed to basically work to basically they've been programmed in a way that is fine in a computer that just gives you access to whatever resources, but consoles don't. They have a set way of how they're supposed to work, and consoles have become more and more computer-like in recent years. Like the most recent ones are still a lot simpler, but there's still a case of some games don't port to console well, and it is still a fair bit of work. And if the company who makes it looks at it and goes, nope, this isn't, we're not going to make our money back if we port this to console, it makes sense for them not to do it. I think it would sell really well for console. I honestly think it'd be entirely worth for them to bring this to console. Even something like the Nintendo Switch, I think Truck Simulator would go over really well. Because that's where the gaming community used to be relatively small, and there was like a certain sort of person who was a gamer and everyone else wasn't. Meanwhile, today, people who aren't really interested in traditional gaming still pick up video games. They still want to play video games. Where you're not into first-person shooters, that's fine. There's games like Farming Simulator and Truck Simulator. There's also, flight sims and stuff like that. Flight sim did really well, but was never necessarily expected to do as well as it did. Yeah, definitely we did that lane and scared that car off. Bad driving. Wouldn't happen as much with a steering wheel, but with a controller it's very easy to kind of twitch around a bit. Yeah, so that's my thing of what games shouldn't be released on consoles. It's just literally a question of, is your game something that the console manufacturers like Microsoft and Sony don't want on their console? Okay, probably not worth trying to get it on there then. But as long as you're just making a game that is good on computer, there's no reason not to port it. Like, this game would run perfectly fine on a current generation Xbox. There's no reason not to port it over. Now, honestly, I do think it should be on consoles with full crossplay too. They just treat it as one large pool of players. Because like that's the thing of like adding multiplayer is very much in the same idea as releasing the game for console, where it's a case of is it worth doing it? Not necessarily. Like strictly looking at it, you got to look and be like, are we going to make enough money off of people who didn't buy it for single player but are going to buy it for multiplayer to make it worth it? And that's easy to look at and go, yeah, probably not. But they still took the time and energy to make it multiplayer. So for them to go, yeah, multiplayer was worth it, but porting to consoles isn't seems really odd to me. It seems short-sighted, honestly. In real life, I would never want to come down here. I would basically have taken the other road in, because this is where people walk to their cars. I don't want to bring a big rig along this. There's always people walking across, and you basically got to stop your big rig for all those people moving. There's very few pedestrians in this game, so it's not a big deal. I assume the biggest reason why they don't have pedestrians is they don't want to give you the option to hit pedestrians. That's not a thing they want to deal with. What happens when you try to hit a pedestrian? They just don't want to deal with the how do we make it so people can't be accidentally or on purpose murdering people walking around. There. All right. $36,000. We can pay off our loan. Let's repay our loan. We are debt free and still have $29,000 in the bank. This sounds like a great time to go make some debt. Let's look at driver manager, uh, recruitment agency. I don't have to actually go into a recruitment agency, do I? So for right now, we get very few choices. But, well, let's first go get a truck. So there's truck dealers all over the place. There's a truck dealership nearby, but we'll go to our Peterbilt dealership in Seattle. This is going to take us all the way back, but here we are. Okay, let's take our truck, configure it. So I am not level 10 yet, so I can't actually get the sleeper yet. Just confirm. Yeah, so I have to be level 13 before I can get that version. But we're still gonna buy a truck. But we can at least now get I want the 6x4, but with 200 gallon fuel storage. So our option is either 6x4 150 or 6x2 200. What's worth more, having basically both axles powered or having bigger fuel tank? For now, we'll go with the bigger fuel tank. I don't. I want to upgrade that as soon as we can, but for now, we'll go with this. So the difference between the Cummins ISX 450 or the PACCAR MX-13 455 is really, really negligible. The biggest thing why I'm leaning towards the PACCAR is that it's making its torque at 900 RPM versus 1200 RPM. That said, I end up wanting to rev high just because of my habits as a car driver and as a motorcycle rider. But I think it's better to have the low torque. Well, we'll go with it and see how I like it. Okay, yeah, we'll go with the 13 speed with the retarder. So what color should we go with this truck? We'll stay away from the really fancy, but we can go red, gray, white, blue, which is the color we had our last truck in, green or black, or yellow. I mean, we could also do a custom color, but what color would I want my custom truck in? Do I want it in orange? Maybe I want it in... We could go for green. We could go for an actual proper deep green. Yeah, for now, let's just go with... let's go with yellow. Now, what sort of accessories can we toss on it? Any accessories worth having? They're probably mostly all not worth having, but we'll toss them on. Now, don't need a license plate in the window. We've got the lights across the top, which I like. And we can add horns to the roof. Seems like something I would have wanted on at some point, but I'm less sold on these days. And sure, we'll toss on the double radiant. No, actually, no, we'll leave those off. Yeah, we'll do the side flares on under the door. I feel like tire selection should have a performance effect, but I also understand it not. We'll go with the bigger rims, or not the bigger rims, the lighter rims, the ones with more holes. We'll just go with the body colored. Yeah, we'll go the body colored bumper. Ah, yes, finally we can get us a moose bar. We'll cover the hub in the front, but not the rear. I like the rear open, honestly. We'll just keep the regular Peterbilt. We'll do the external exhaust. Really, to me, is not a big needed item, but we'll go with it. Yeah, we'll totally toss the mirror down on that side. I like having that mirror as an option, something I'd want in real life. All right, so Satan storm, high temperature Texas. Something tells me that's going to be warm. We'll leave the cup holders closed because we're not actually putting anything in here that needs cups. Yeah, we'll have the little chainsaw dangling from the rearview mirror. Oh, and we can have ourselves a suicide suicide knob. So I love suicide knobs on things like forklifts. Not as big of a fan of them in for things like well, any road vehicle. I understand why you'd want them on a big rig, but personally, I can survive without. I will go without. All right. Well, this is definitely going to be able to carry more weight. I'm a little. I'm not thrilled about having to choose between basically having two driven axles or having bigger fuel tanks, but I do really kind of want the bigger fuel tank more than I want the extra grip. So we'll take it. So I realize I've put all this effort in. That is going to cost us 134,000, but I can't actually. I need to take out a loan before I can buy that. All right, let's do this in the least efficient way possible. We're going to take out a bunch of $10,000 loans. There, we've taken out $120,000 in $10,000 loans. Absolutely not the effective way to do this, but that's not the thing that we're caring about right now. Okay. So I've never noticed the stock versus the fleet configuration. Not sure what the is the fleet simply just to have a bunch of identical trucks? I'm not sure. A little salty about having to go through and do this again. This is my own fault for not actually taking the time to take out the money first. So we've got the day cab arrow, which honestly just looks silly. We will not go for it. Yeah, having it be hot is one thing. Having it go from being reasonable to having it be ridiculously hot in a very short period of time, that that would suck. Let's see if we can find a blue that I'm really happy with. Or we could go for something. Now, I really like the blue on the trucks. Let's find ourselves a nice dark blue. Yeah, because let's see if the metallic gives me more of what I want. Yeah, maybe we'll go something like that. Not where I meant to be changing that, but we'll take it. Right there. I think that is a very nice color of blue right there. Yeah, I think I would have to describe that as excessively hot. I can understand why it's called what was called the Satan storm. Okay, so confirm. So it's the fleet configuration. don't understand what the difference between stock and fleet is. I'm going to quickly look this up. It's a new feature that doesn't seem to be well described yet. No, no one really describes it, so we are just going to go ahead. We are going to purchase this. Oh, so once again, I had the money to buy the truck, but I can't buy the truck because I need to manage the garage first, because the garage can only sustain one truck currently. We need to upgrade it, but we need $180,000. All right, so let's, oh, my controller's turned off because I've been out of this for so long. It's just like real life trying to start up a company. Everything gets complicated. All right, let's just repay all these loans and do this in a smarter way. Let's take out the maximum amount that we can. Now we've got tons of money in our bank account. Now let's go and spend it. All right, garage manager. Let's take our tiny garage in Wenatchee and we are going to upgrade it. Cost us $180,000 to upgrade, but this will mean that we will be able to hire 2 additional drivers and buy 2 additional trucks. All right, we've got our truck headquarters. We've got 3 garage bays. So now we have 1 truck in 3 bays. So now we go back to truck management. Let's go to a truck dealer. I think fleet just literally defaults to the cheapest option. Because so the fleet truck is 108,000. But if I just take this and customize it and drop it down to the cheapest, that brings it down to the price that it would be. So if I'm upping what I'm putting on it, then it really doesn't matter. Although maybe it saves what I do, so that way when I want to just add more trucks to my fleet that are match what I've already done, it yeah, I'm trying to think how would it work in a way that makes sense. Okay, I like that color. Now we'll toss some stuff on here. You'd figure I'd be able to do this real easy by now, considering this is the third time in a row I'm doing this. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, but like I wouldn't count stuff like basically a storm bringing in a specifically high temperature for a very short period of time. I wouldn't count as a regular high temperature because that's the record high for some of the cities and like for Lillooet, the record high is probably a few hundred degrees Fahrenheit, but that's probably because a forest fire went right through the middle of the city. So technically, it's been much, much hotter, but you'd expect that when it is literally on fire. So yeah, I don't know. I'm hesitant to include things like particularly high snaps. Oh, hey, my little girl, how's it going? Okay, well, I'm going to say that that truck is now configured. So let's confirm it. Let's buy it. Yes, let's drive our new truck. Still a day cab, so it's not perfect. I am doing good, Milo. Thanks for asking. I'm glad to hear that you're okay. All right, we have our shiny new truck. But we are not done yet. We want to buy another truck, which I may have been. There may have been a more efficient. Oh, the truck dealer is closed. Well, that's rude. I was just there. I just bought a truck. I would like to buy another truck. So let's look at the dealerships. Let's see if we can. There. Okay. So our fleet options is us picking a truck we already have. That makes sense. Okay. So I can just duplicate the truck again. Excellent. So why are you giving me so many pretzels? I don't really like pretzels that much. They're too salty. I will take more of the uh, blossom flowers though. Yes, I'd like to leave the truck dealership. Now, I do want to manage my trucks. Can I take that old Peterbilt that I've put a bunch of miles on? can I upgrade it? Yes, I can. So we're going to configure it the same as we've configured everything else in our our setup so far, which means I'll be doing this again for the however manyth time. But then now that I understand how this works, hopefully this will be the last time I'm doing, because I should just be able to upgrade the truck I'm driving and then match all the other trucks to it, or go buy trucks that are the same anyway. Hey, how's it going? I've got to hang there a little keychain, or yeah, our little chainsaw toy from the headliner, and we'll confirm our order. And we have just eaten through all of our money. So we took out a bunch of debt, and we have spent it all. Now we need to take these empty trucks I've got and put drivers in them. This is going to be really hard to pay off 2 trucks, some truck upgrades, and a new garage with having the trucks just sit there and do nothing. Yeah, got to have the little mini chainsaw that's going to like jangle around while I drive. Okay, so now to the recruitment agency. Let's hire a driver. Let's put him in a truck. All right, we'll hire this driver as well. Put her in a truck. There, so now we have 2 new and relatively unskilled drivers, but we'll take faith that they'll get better as we go along. Okay, so now we've got trucks. Now we've got a whole bunch of loan to pay off. So let's start on that. So time to start looking at the job market. And now we can actually just take whatever suits us. Sure, let's deliver some oh, I like the look of that one. Doesn't pay the most per mile, but it does pay nice over the course of everything. And it'll be interesting drive. Relatively light load, but should be a good drive. All right, time to leave our new and expanded garage. Oh, let's not take up the entire road, can we? All right, we're ready to roll. Let's go pick up our cargo. Oh, getting. Oh, used up too much of our air, so we're low on air. We do not get an advanced green. We have to wait. Not the way most of these intersections work, but it's the way this one works. So it doesn't matter what Mini One's size is. I'm willing to hire him. As long as he can do the mini work, I'm thinking he's the mini worker for the job. But I haven't found a Juan yet. But you're probably right. The reason why I haven't found Juan yet is because he's too small to see. So I can't see where to hire him yet. I'll have to go buy a magnifying glass so I'm able to hire him. Alright. Of course I am in too high of a gear for this, but... Alright, so here's where we're supposed to find our tractor that needs to be delivered. Let's see if we can... There's different configurations, but we'll go with that one. None of it should affect anything, really. It's just color of the trailer, that's about it. But now go find the trailer. Nope, it's not that one. That one's got a white trailer, and we're looking for a blue trailer. So we'll go around. Oh, are we gonna? All right, we'll back up. We have hear all the cows mooing. We'll just turn around right here. Okay, so not going into this in a convenient way. Be nice if someone. Be nice if I could have been told what's back here. Basically, if in real life, someone would probably tell you, "Oh, you can just back into this area here." That's what you'll want to do. But I don't get that. I just get told some are back here, and I gotta go find it. So go back up our truck. Alright. Now we're hooked up and ready to go. We've got a tractor on a trailer, and we're ready to go on our adventure. that corner a bit close. But yeah, that's where that's why I had to add the chainsaw. Gotta have it basically bouncing around inside the cab. I think when Juan plays this game, he actually has more things around in his cab bouncing around. Let's take a quick look. So we've got 31 hours to remove, or to basically finish this delivery. And our current estimate is it will take us 11 hours and 9 minutes to make the drive. Yeah, that does not surprise me that Juan would have a little Canadian maple leaf. But I haven't bought any of the DLCs that give you more things, so I've only got a couple options, and the chainsaw is my favorite of the ones I have. Alright, so off we go on our first day as a truck driver. We're going to have to stop and sleep somewhere along this road. This is definitely one of the areas of the US that I really enjoy driving in, where we've got a lot of nice small roads. Oh. I was wondering why we weren't accelerating, and that's because I didn't have the cruise control set to go any faster than 40 miles per hour. I would love to put a little mini Reese's up there, or a little mini Skittle. No mini Skittles, just a mini Skittle. So you can ban Skittles all you want. If I only have a Skittle, then I'm not having Skittles. You don't like that answer? You don't think I can get around it just by having a single Skittle? Now the one thing always be careful in this part of the country driving is these small roads. Some of these corners, they sneak up on you. Like you think they're a nice gentle corner, and then suddenly they tighten up and they're not gentle anymore. So I just gotta be careful here. I also need to remember that I've got more than 10 gears. Slow down for this because we do a little bit of zigzagging here. Yeah, a Reese's cup hanging from the center, basically not actually hanging from the rearview mirror, but where you'd have a rearview mirror in a vehicle that makes use of a rearview mirror would be really nice. I'd buy the Reese's cup DLC. And we're stopping for the train here. It's a relatively short train. So on we go. Man, it's hard driving from this camera. The bypassing camera view. I've started to yawn. I'd love to be able to have a separate view that would basically cycle through the different camera views as I was driving. But this is honestly the only one that's really good to be driving the vehicle from. Which, yeah, on the Mini Yawn, we've gonna have to deal with that soon. Somewhere on our way to Spokane, there's gotta be a rest spot. Well, nothing on our way to Spokane, so I guess Spokane's gonna be our first area where we can pull over and have a nap before we get on the rest of our way to Idaho Falls. Stop for the weigh scale? Or is this weigh scale only one direction? I'm not sure. This weigh scale may not apply to us. Oh, so it does apply to us, but we don't have to go into it, which is good because we'd have to go across the road to be able to get in. Weigh scales that only exist on one side of the road are a real pain, but they do happen in real life relatively often. I have to say I like this truck. A little bit extra power, 3 more gears, an extra axle. Starting to feel like a real big rig. Not the glorified pickup truck that we had prior. All right, well, I should really follow that truck because it's going to take me a while to pass, build up the speed to pass him again. There's gonna be cars that are gonna want to get past. Oh, and he's pulling off anyway. So we just keep on going, and we've got our right lane all to ourselves. Yeah, we're getting tired. Starting to get the fading at the corners effect. But until we get to Spokane, we don't have any area where we're allowed to pull over. When we're we're also running low on fuel. We can do another 140 miles. That should get us to Spokane. Let's try to stay in our own lane here. Trailer is going a bit over the line there for a bit. We've got nice big merge space. We're doing fine. Okay. Oh. Yeah, that's just like real life. You change lanes and the car in front of you decides they want to change lanes at the exact same time. Well, we don't want to exit, so we're going to go over to this lane. We are in Spokane though, so I think the next turnoff is going to be our exit. Yeah, so next exit is ours. Okay, we're gonna just turn into here. We'll grab fuel, repair our truck, and then get some sleep. Which is currently midday, so not normally the time that you'd be going to bed, but you're tired when you're tired, I guess. Okay, so we're gonna repair our vehicle. And then we'll just pull in over here and have a quick rest stop. Pulling not too close. This trailer's keep acting like this trailer is one of the shorter Super Bs that I've been pulling, but it is not. Or not Super Bs, but like the small B trains. Okay, and I think I'm also going to take a quick BRB while my character takes a nap. Okay, and I am back. Let's get this show on the road. Oh, well, want some headlights. That'll be helpful. So I guess we're gonna basically make the rest of this delivery in the night. That's just when this is lining up. All right, we're gonna hit this right to be able to just roll through here on the green. No, there just is not a green for this. Might have been an advanced turn green. I didn't see it, but I suppose that is the most likely option. Yeah, okay, so yeah. Advanced green, which is honestly the smartest way to do it, but there's been a few places in this game where I've run into it not being advanced green. Just, oh, I see how it is. I want to get over that lane and you're gonna just rush past me rather than move over the lane. Once again, annoying, but accurate. That is how people drive. Grab some more mini Reese's. The problem with mini Reese's is about the same thing. The problem that I have with like potato chips. You have one, and then you have more than one. Relying on me to self-limit my eating of mini Reese's is it's a dangerous thing. All right, I don't really want to pass you, Van, but I think I'm going to do it. I know we're speeding 5 over, but I'm happy to keep speeding 5 over. If you want to do 60, we'll let you do 60, but you can do 60 behind me. I was definitely confused. I'm like, where did I get money from? But I realized that I probably got money from my other drivers. Because while I'm still doing my first run, my drivers are probably doing short runs. Yeah, so that's my one driver there is on average making $500 a day, and the other driver is on average making $738 a day, which is honestly, I feel like pretty good. So that is high value cargo. So we're going to get him to focus on that So remember the way that this works. If they're balanced, it's fine. We'll have her specialize in fragile cargo. Basically, their rating is decided by their lowest skill and their best skill. So it makes sense to get all of their skills going, basically get one of their skills maxed out and then let them balance it out. So if we look at our trucks, that is, and then we look at the profit. My truck on average makes $14,715 per day, but I'm also the owner. Every last dime I make goes in. And then Annette P, her daily profit is a little bit higher than Matthew P. But between the two of them, they're making about $1,200 a day, which if we were relying on just them to pay off my debts, we would be in trouble. The smaller of the two loans, they can't even quite cover the daily payment on that. But that's fine. I'm not counting on them making a ton of money, but they are still. It won't take them a super long time to pay off the money I put into getting them. Basically, it would take longer than the period of the loan, but we already knew that. That's nothing new. That's not anything surprising there. Just going down a windy road in the dark. One of the quintessential trucker things. Although I realize I'm also speeding by way more than I meant to. We'll get down to only speeding 5 over. This isn't Texas after all. We can't just be doing 90 everywhere. Still, I will be very happy when we get into the even bigger, more powerful engines. The jump in power has been noticeable, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't like to go even further in that. Oh, the speed limit's jumped up to 65, so let's get a boogie on. Oh, and we're going to pull into the scale. Scale pulls off on the left side here. We're through the scale and back on our way. Now are we going to be able to just pull out onto the road like this? I think we are. It was a bit of a mess just because of me. I would love to have a screen set up so I could just look around rather than have to move the basically have to actually move the head around manually. But well, it is what it is. Set our cruise control to 70, and I don't think we're going to. We might hit it, but I don't think we're going to. Sneak back over here and just hang out here for hopefully a while. Still 5 hours from destination. I'm sure it's going to be more windy roads in the way, but for now we just kind of cruise along the freeway. Managing this speed limit, but we're still passing people. And we are managing to actually speed now, which not necessarily the goal, but nope, speeding by more than I meant to. The speed limit changed on me somewhere there. We're trying to kind of stick to 5 over. I think Milo's still on her call. She may be back, but she did definitely not indicate that she's back. But alright, well, we'll pass again. And basically, there's no one waiting behind us. There's no one. The lane's open. We'll take it. We'll pass some people. We'll try not to stay here longer than we need to be, because hanging out in the left lane is not something we should be doing. It's not a responsible thing to do. Basically, whenever I'm in anything bigger than a sports car, I don't want people to be passing me on the right-hand side. I've got the least visibility there. I'd like to set it up so people pass me on the left, which is like one of the compelling reasons to stay in the right lane. But some people just like to hang out in the left lane. I'll never understand it, but there's a lot of things I'll never understand, so I guess I just can't complain about it too much. We're probably in about the darkest part of the night. And about an hour from now, it'll probably start to get brighter. All right, we're gonna have to slow down for the people passing because we're carrying more speed than most other people. Or I guess we're carrying more speed than the other big rigs because I'm trying to speed and they are apparently not. Got a fire truck here. Seems kind of weird just seeing a fire truck out cruising on a highway in the night, no lights on. So actually, one thing I realized, I don't think that emergency vehicles ever are actually driving down the road with their lights on. Because you're never in the situation where you have to pull over for an emergency vehicle to come by you. Something I never thought of before. That's something missing from this game. Oh, driving over the road, looking. Yeah, but what exactly is Milo going to do to actually enforce this ban from your truck? There's a saying that goes, unenforced rule is not a rule, it's a suggestion. I need to be in that right lane, but there's stuff going on. This is another detour situation. This shouldn't be a terrible detour though, so we'll just... Heck, I think I may have accidentally made this detour in real life when we were headed down to Denver. We were headed to Pikes Peak for the race. And we missed one of our turnoffs when we were headed south towards Denver. Now, hopefully this extra detour doesn't screw us out of too much. Now, I'm going to try the detour that the game gives me. We'll see if this works out. See if we can just loop back and come to that section of the highway from the other side. But like I just said, that Skittles ban. That Skittles ban is only as good as her ability to enforce it. And so far, I'm not convinced she can enforce it. So I think I'd hesitate to call it a Skittle ban. And it's a suggested Skittles, sabbatical. She is suggesting that I don't take Skittles, but she's unable to enforce me getting Skittles. So it's not really a ban; it's just a suggestion. All right, now I've got to do a roundabout. This looks like a relatively small roundabout, and I have a long trailer. And it has the little inner curb for trailers to go over. Like the inner radius of this roundabout is small, but overall it is actually very well suited for a big rig coming around it. So we're just going to stay in the right lane. This extra little bit of detour costs us a bit of time, but not actually too much. Alright, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, so we're starting to get that brightness. I hear honking, but what was the honking about? Seemed like the cars behind me were honking, but I honestly could not tell what they were honking about. I wasn't blocking anyone. I don't think I was doing anything to that would be worth honking at, but I might be wrong. Alright, we're gonna go for it. Should just stay behind the bus, but the bus was just so slow. That's one thing I have found in this game as I get bigger, faster trucks. We're gonna go pass again. I spend more time driving it as if it's a car because I've got enough power to actually be able to pass. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, Shep did kidnap me for the weekend. I was reliant on Shep driving me around in order to make it back home. But it's Juan's fault that Shep had to kidnap me, because we drove my vehicle to the airport, and then he drove my vehicle back alone. So Shep kidnapping me was the only thing I got going for me. So it was half kidnapping, half rescue. It worked out. I don't think Shep gave me Skittles. I think my wife gave me Skittles, but I did get Skittles when I got back. So that's Milo Girl can ban Shep from things, but I don't think Milo Girl has any ability to ban my wife from things. Milo Girl doesn't even know who my wife is. What's my favorite candy? So we're counting all sweet things like chocolates as well, because then my favorite is actually the seashell chocolates, like the Belgian seashell chocolates. I don't have them often, but I really, really like them. But my favorite candy as far as actual like candies go is definitely Skittles. I like Skittles. But I do also have a really big soft spot for Reese's Cups. They are probably the best chocolate that I have on a bit of a regular basis. Now, my second favorite candy is honestly probably Lifesavers. So I'm a big fan of the like the fruit flavored hard candies, even if most of them aren't really fruit flavored. Yeah, there are times where I basically stop buying some candy or some sweets just because I know that I don't have any self-control to not eat them if I have them, so I just don't buy them. I'm trying to get out of the lane there. Let's get out and stay out. Takis kill people sometimes, as in more than other candies? I can't think of a reason why they would be more dangerous than like all. There's always like a choking hazard with candy, and there's always the possibility of people eating themselves to death. So I can see it, but it also seems like it's kind of silly for people to actually be at higher risk for having talkies. I mean, he no longer has heart issues. Oh, we're gonna have to take this exit because that is a weird scale setup. Don't think I've ever seen a scale setup quite like this before. Basically, have to take this big loop out. Okay, gross vehicle weight 67,000 pounds, and we are on our way. Oh, basically developed a I cannot for the life of me remember what that is called, where the heart, basically the valves don't. Okay, he seems to be stopping for me, so we're gonna go. He has right away. He shouldn't be stopping for me. But if someone stops for me, we're going. Honestly, in real life, that's gonna sometimes be a bad idea, because if they had right away, even if they stopped to let you go, if they go again and then hit you, that is your fault. They had right away. The fact that they gave you the space doesn't mean that they're actually legally giving up their right of way. I was using my right hand, or my left hand to drink some iced tea. So I was using the Or I had to try to use the joystick for steering, and that did not go well, as you probably noticed. Yeah, so a little fender bender. You know, that fender bender probably not really worth actually closing off the road for. Roll the cars off to the side of the road. You can have both lanes open, and then you can deal with getting a tow truck there and all the other stuff that you have to do in an accident. There's very few places where they would close down the intersection for that, or close down the section of highway for that. I mean, Milo Girl would have to come back to be able to take anything away from anyone. And so my general thing is usually, basically, unless it's a current problem, then I'm not going to worry about it. We'll just let it go. So what Milo Girl will try to ban any of us from is a problem for when Milo Girl's around to try to ban us from anything. So I'd totally be able to just pull this in straight. But the other side has low door that I probably can't get through. And they're probably just too lazy to make this easy on me. So we'll back it in. There's something about this trailer that I've just really had a tough time with how long it is. I would love to be able to figure out. Oh, no, I don't want to change the view. Just need to back this more or less straight in. Swipe it there. Also, I don't know why we're unloading it. Like, basically, we're going to leave the trailer in the shop. Make more sense. Pull the trailer up in front of the shop, back the tractor off. All right. So that is, we are now, is there? There will. We're nice and squarely parked in that shop. Well, that's certainly a interesting view of it, but Yeah, I do wish you could get more, basically I'd love to have different views of this. Like I wish you could just like, I wish you could get out of your truck and just look around at everything. I think that right there might actually be the best view of the parking job. But time to decouple, and we'll take our money. And we've leveled up again. Excellent. Let's see what new things we can. Yeah, we've got a few different. Oh, we've unlocked different steering wheels. We've unlocked the chassis upgrade that I was really wanting. And we can have the 200 gallon fuel tanks and have both rear axles powered. So the next time I buy a shop, I think I'll swap out the the diffs and we'll get what I want. But before I get into that, how is my rest looking? Let's grab. No, it's not what I want. Next rest stop in 5 hours. It's not terrible. Let's see what the job market has right now. If we don't like it, we'll take a rest and then we'll see what we have after. So moving a giant silo doesn't pay a lot, but it should be an interesting one. And this one isn't urgent, which means we would have less time to make the delivery. I wish you could I wish you could see the information, like how quickly does that need to be done? Because that's 7 hours of driving, but is that going to be all right if I basically need to take a break between, or is that going to cut it too short? But I think I want to move the crane. That should be an interesting job. We'll set that as the destination. Oh, it's telling me that my truck configuration might not be ideal for that. But there is a shop nearby. We'll go get the extra axle, and then we'll try to do that delivery. We'll be a little bit underpowered for it, I think. That shouldn't be too bad. Terrible view of what's coming from the other side, but yeah, visibility is just awful. Alright, so after that black truck, we've got clear way to go. So let's go. All right, we're 2 miles from a shop, so this should be a quick, easy little retrofit of our truck. All right, come to a stop here. We could have had that green light, but we were just not quite here in time. So now we wait. Now, in a lot of places, you'd still be able to turn left right now because the road's clear. There's nothing actually stopping you from going. But since that's a red light, I'm assuming this is one of those areas where you cannot make a left on basically, you can only turn left when you have the advanced left signal. All right, there we go. Get into that shop. Actually, while we're there, we should probably fuel up and rest. It would certainly be the smart way to handle this. But the jobs we were looking at might also be gone by that point if we do that. All right. That will be a... Just make sure there's nothing else. Oh, so we can actually also get a better motor. So it makes more horsepower, but it makes, like, if we don't get better torque, I'm going to hold off on, I'm going to stay with the Packard motor. I also don't know that I have a real life opinion between the Packard and Cummins, but for the game purposes, I think I'm going to stick with Packard. I like the lower peak torque. I mean, how long is the ban from Skittles? I don't know. It'd have to be enforced for me to really have an idea of. Oh, now we can go custom metallic. I think we could always do that and just. Wait, what is the customization difference? Oh no, yeah, well that's right. We'll stay with that motor. All right. So we've done our truck customization. And since we're here, we'll fill up our fuel tanks and get a rest all at the same time. Going through this backwards, but we're just going to do it anyway. All right, gonna fuel up. and we'll catch some sleep. We'll see what we have available now. Okay, so the job I was looking at is still there, but we do also have some other options that are interesting. We can bring a lift truck to Elko, Nevada. We've already been in Elko, Nevada, but we've never gone to Elko, Nevada this way. And we do have this wide load. I think we'll do this. This is a long drive. It's going to take us a while to get there, but we'll set that as our destination. And all right, so let's get going. All right, so I've got it, but my drivers are both busy, and so we paid a loan installment. You are 149 pounds? Yeah, but how many kilograms is that? So got to speak in metric units here. I'm mostly kidding because I've always known how much anytime I've known my body weight, I've known what I weighed in pounds. It's relatively recently that I actually know what I weigh in kilograms as well. So that is, I am just about 70 kilograms on the dot. It does bounce around a little bit, but I've been pretty consistently around 70 kilograms for a long time. Oh, we're not stopping for that apparently. Yeah, 155 pounds or 70 kilograms has been sort of my body weight for most of my adult life. Sun is really getting low in the sky. It is currently 7 in the evening, so that's not surprising. Oh wow, and Netta made quite the big income there. Gonna have to check out what our average income from it right now is. All right, let's pick up the crane. Yeah, I find it interesting how some kids, when they're still little, they get this idea that they don't want to be picked up. Other adults can't get picked up, so they don't want to get picked up. Let's take a quick look. Yep, we can just pull this out of there. There's nothing around that's going to mess with us. Well, it's time to go do this. It's a nice big load. Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know where that gate is. It's the problem of that beautiful view. It doesn't actually help you get where you need to go. And also, just for the sake of the prettiness of it, I'm going to try to stay in that view, but I'm basically going out here blind, which means I can't do it well. I would love to be able to have this sort of view projected on a second monitor. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I'm driving currently with no... Basically trying to drive just by sound. Oh, she doesn't want to be dropped? Yeah, okay, I guess that's fair. No, I am definitely not in the right lane for this. And should not actually be making this turn. Okay. And that is, I do wish that the built-in GPS was a little bit more. I should not have gone through that because that light was first off already very low, like late. Also, okay, I am actually fitting the entire way through the intersection, so it's not as bad as I thought at first was going to be. Yeah, basically if I could have all of the information on the little side cluster, actually in the dash there, that would be amazing. Now this is one of those places that would be risky to stop, because if I stop here at this red light, am I off the train tracks? I am. Okay. I wasn't sure that I would actually clear the train tracks. But I would assume that she probably knows her Spanish really well, so she can probably still communicate very well with most of the adults that she needs to. Just trying to go really wide here to. So this might be a bad mistake. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look. I'm pretty sure there's not a way to do it, but I would. Oh, that was not my fault. You pulled right into me. You just pulled right into the side of my trailer. I mean, yeah, I very much would be strongly opposed to a stranger just coming over and picking me up. As other when people just act like kids just like being picked up as a default, or kids should just be used to being picked up, it kind of drives me nuts. It's if a kid doesn't want to get picked up, you shouldn't be picking up a kid. It's different if it's your kid or you're very familiar with the kid, but even if you're like your teacher or something, you shouldn't just be picking up someone's kid. Sun's probably going to start going down soon. It's almost 8 o'clock, and mind you, we are headed south. We must be headed south. Yes, we are headed south. So we're headed down to Pocatello. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. It's probably horribly wrong, but we're headed down to what I am going to say is Pocatello. I've never been through this part of Idaho at all. I've basically been through the north of Idaho up over here, but I've never been south of Lewiston. I think Lewiston is actually going to be a summer destination for me on a bike ride, but that's probably about as far south as I'm going to get. After that point, it's bike rides start getting a little bit long. So we're going down to Pocatello, go past Twin Falls, go up through Napa, Nampa, Nampa. Okay, so Boyce, Nampa, Ontario, then up to Pendleton and the Dells. I think that's pronounced the Dells, although I'm not sure. It might be, that could be incorrect. I mean, it makes sense. New states, which I wanted to take a look. What are my, if I look at my drivers, how are they doing? Annette is proving to be worth every penny I've paid her. She is averaging $1,277 earned per day, while Matthew is getting better, but he is still at like he is where he is right now is where Annette actually started at around $750 per day. But between the two of them, they're making about $2,000 per day for me. Like that's how much money I'm earning from them driving. They're earning their amount, but so that means the two of them are paying off the $100,000 loan. So between the two of them, that's the amount that I'm paying per day there is being covered by them. The other bit of it is being covered by me, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Nope, I don't want to quit the game. I want to go to drive. I want to exit the menu, not the game. Oh, and we are turning here. And that's where like teachers always need to be careful on the thing of like if a kid doesn't want to get picked up, well then that should be pretty easy. Don't pick up the kid. You generally don't. There's no reason you really ever need to be picking up someone else's child. If a kid likes being picked up and that makes it like moving the kid around a bit, that's nothing wrong with that in itself. But you always do need to be careful because some parents are not going to want you touching their kid in any way at all. Really, anytime someone is touching a kid, even if it's very non-threatening, like picking someone up, like and a lot of the little kids they like being picked up. It's fine, but it is always a case of you are opening yourself up to that liability of parents not liking it. So generally, it's not worth it. I very rarely deal with kids, but occasionally I will deal with kids. And it is a thing of I do my best to just not be in the situation where I'm picking up or touching kids in any way that could even be deemed remotely inappropriate. It's just a lot easier that way. And that is, I have a couple of friends that have kids, and also have nephews and nieces, and I'll often I'll play with them and stuff like that, and all that's fine. But I will actually usually I will try to whenever I'm play fighting with someone else's kid, if I can, I'll actually try to do it in a spot where they can watch without having to really they don't have to come in and pay attention to watch. They can just look over and see. It's one of those things where, as a parent, I would prefer to be aware of what someone else is doing with my kids, even just vaguely at any moment. What always triggers the real red flag is when someone wants to spend time with your kid in any way without supervision. When someone's trying to get away from eyes, basically get away from being seen when they're interacting with your kid. That's the red flags. That's the what's going on, because this doesn't this seems wrong immediately. This is as soon as someone wants to be with your child alone, that immediately triggers the suspicion of why. Why does someone want to be with your kid alone? It gets into danger territory. This is going to be a cluster. That was a risky lane change. That was not worth it. The risk of that in real life would have been way too high to make it worthwhile. I just didn't want to slow down for these guys merging in. But just like real life, very often you're stuck in a situation where you can't go in the left lane because there's a car there, and in the right lane people are slowing down, so you end up having to slow down. So we're driving into the night here, and it'll probably be starting to just get to light by the time that we're done this. And that'll probably be where I call the stream for today. I'll be back again tomorrow. I'm keeping on my thing of I'm trying to stream every day this week. And I'd love to make a habit of it, but basically the lack of work that lets me stream every day is probably not something that's going to last forever, so we'll see. Maybe I'll be able to do it next week, maybe I won't. So I definitely noticed that a lot of adults like messing with kids' hairs, like hairs. A lot of adults like messing with kids' hair, and what this is, I've noticed is that there's actually a lot of young adults who don't like people touching their hair because of it. It's just something that bugged them as a kid. So now that they're adults, they don't like anyone like tussling their hair at all because it's something they didn't enjoy as a kid. Basically, as a kid, they felt they didn't have respect. They were not respected because people would mess with their hair. Almost 11 in game, and this level of traffic isn't unrealistic for 11, but it feels like the road should just be a little bit emptier by now than they are. We've still got quite a ways to go. Truck. Getting distracted. And here we've got a case of the left lane moving slower than the right. I'd chastise the big rig in the left lane that's slowing everything down, but I'm in the left lane doing the same thing, am I not? Now I'm slowed down from this. It's midnight and I'm being stuck in dumbest traffic. This is annoying. Not unrealistic, but annoying. Which really sucks. Every time I have to slow down, it takes me forever to get my speed back. And just watch everybody drive by me, and then they basically slow down in a cluster in front of me, so I just slow down again. And it's left lane slow, right lane slow, everyone's slow. But whatever, we are making the progress we need to see, so it's fine. The Gem State. I assume Gem State is Idaho, but I honestly don't know. I don't know why it's called the Gem State. Did they actually find gemstones there? Or is it just someone thought that would be clever to refer to Idaho as a gem? I like it when it's not stuck in that weird behind you. Oh, of course we got people slowing down, so now I've got to snap back. Oh, we're in a 65 zone, so we'll only speed 5 over. 70. So it's actually, the whole being stuck in traffic is actually one of the frustrations of being on a motorbike, is when you get stuck in traffic, you know you don't have to be. At any moment you can just go, and there's really nothing like cops can't stop you. There's nothing they can actually do. You can just ride away. Like if they get your license plate, yeah, they can email you a ticket or whatever, but that's, or not email, but like they can mail you a ticket. But that's about all they can do is hopefully get a picture of your license plate. At any moment, you could just go, you know, no, screw this. I'm not going to stay stuck in traffic, and you can just go. There's enough space, safe space between lanes that you can basically just sort of go between traffic and be gone. But it's one of those things where it's illegal, and it does have some risks. It's not nearly as, like, people think it's super dangerous, and it really isn't. There's a reason why in, like, all of Europe it's done, and it's not. Europe has less motorcycle fatalities than America. But it is one of those things of, because it's not legal, there are some risks, both physically and legally. And so we sit there, we're stuck in traffic, but you know you don't have to be there. At any moment you could just choose to be free. It's kind of frustrating. Oh, did not mean to turn my lights on. I wanted to turn on my brights. And of course, as soon as I turn on my brights, we're catching other traffic. The brights do give you quite a bit more to see, though. Definitely when playing this game multiplayer, you can immediately tell if someone's got the brights on behind you, because the back wall of your truck doesn't actually stop the light from coming through. Basically, it doesn't the interior of your truck doesn't block light, not from a source like that, so it makes it a bit interesting. I should not be passing right now. I can't maintain speed. I wanted to. This was a dumb idea and I should never have done it. Can you let me back in? Can you let me undo this mistake, car? Please? No? No, I made a mistake and you're gonna make me stick with it? Okay. Your cousin Isabella sounds a lot like my cat. Mind you, my cat, instead of weighing 45 pounds, weighs 20 pounds, and will probably tolerate you holding him for about 2 minutes. Which I guess isn't necessarily accurate. My wife certainly will sometimes hold him for, like, he'll basically sit across her shoulders, and she just has a 20-pound shoulder decoration, and he will just happily sit there for a long time. That's a lot of weight to carry on your shoulders, just sort of unevenly. Picking up 10 20 pounds and putting on your shoulder isn't a lot, but when you just have 20 pounds living on your shoulder, it ends up actually being quite a bit. sure what we're slowing down for, but oh, I could probably turn my brakes off there. Not sure why we had to slow down so much for that, because now I'm going to be stuck trying to build up any of that speed going back uphill. So I wish I could just put on my hazards. There's probably a button for it. I don't know what it is. Nope, H is horn. J is the flasher, high beams. It didn't have to be such a painful drive, but can't let any of the speed lost. I can't get it back. Messages. My wife is headed home from work. So I will be done this, and I'll be done this before she gets home. Yeah, my wife has done work at about 4:30, which is not, depending what sort of work you're in, it is a bit early. I'd say it's about, it's a very common time to be done working if you work a regular day shift. Not common, not uncommon. We're going to have everything bogging back down to a stop, and realistically I should just slow down and fall in line behind them, but I really don't want to. I've built up my speed. I want to keep it. I worked hard for the speed I've got. Definitely not going to be able to keep it for this next corner. Like, this is a lot of speed carrying through these corners already, and then this one's sharp. But I can use both lanes right now, because I don't have anyone. I could not have carried much more speed in there. The load was starting to get a little bit unsettled. Everyone wanted to start rolling. But we'll count that as a wild success. Just blasting through these mountains. Is it risky? Abso-bloody-lutely. our destination. We're gonna be back. The dells are not an area that I had been to prior in the game, so that'll be a new area, but it's also not a like we're back in the Oregon Washington area that we've been at like for most of the game. We've been spreading our wings a little bit and getting farther away from it, but we're kind of back at our sort of stomping grounds. At some point though here I'll have to decide where I want to have my next garage at. She knows 100% English, as in she doesn't know any other language, or she knows 100% of the English language, because one of those is way more impressive than the other. We're doing this. I shouldn't. We're gonna pass this truck. There's traffic behind me, and I'm inconveniencing people by doing this, but so she knows 100% of the English language and 100% of the Spanish language? Because that's super impressive. Or as in she just fluently speaks both. How old is it, Isabella? This has come up at some point in the past, but I can't remember. Yeah, that's 11 years old is a good age. It's where basically I find 11 to 13 is the point where kids start to get smart, like really smart. Like you got kids that are way younger and they're wicked smart, but like 11 to 12 they really start to use their brain in more interesting ways, in more fun ways. Like they really start to think through problems in ways. Although school has a tendency to beat that out of them, and they become boring adults. But not everyone. Some people become interesting adults. Welcome back, Milo. But yeah, I think that's one of my favorite ages for watching kids. Basically, where they start to kind of pick what they want to do. You say that with such certainty. I might just have to go as soon as this live stream is done and go to the store and buy some Skittles. I'm gonna have to like make a little Skittles cam so I can have like a camera show my like little Skittles shrine while I live stream. I have like a little Skittle altar. Burn some like Skittle incense and like wash my hands in Skittle water. But need to be back in the right lane because I need to take this next exit. Which, dang it, which view is it that I want? I want the one that's static. Don't understand. Where's... I don't know where the... There should be a view. That I don't get to control where it looks. I can't find the thing I want. Oh well, I was gonna basically do the delivery in the cinematic mode thing, but can't seem to find it. I definitely think you were cutting me there off a little bit, sir. And I wasn't even doing speed limit. That's how I feel about it, sir. So, but if it's Skittleless prison, how am I supposed to survive? Ooh, that was a close one. Well, that's the view I was looking for earlier. Oh, good thing I would have pulled the wrong place if I hadn't got my map back. I would have pulled forward into there, where that marker is. Where I need to go is over here. Say, but bread's just not something that people can survive on alone. People need their sugars. People need their sweet, sweet Skittles. Okay, now I just wanted to make sure that that was going to work. All right. We've made it further. we've unlocked some new decorative options, but nothing nothing significant. And let's take a look at our bank loan. We still owe a bunch of money, but we're slowly building up an account balance. In our progress history, we started down low and we've been trending up nicely. And our garage has been doing good. And we have Annette P who's still putting in a decent profit every day. So yeah, the start of this truck driving empire is underway. Let's start driving out of here. We will need. So I guess the last thing we do before we log off is find a place to fuel up and sleep. Nearest place for that is right there. So that is where we'll go. Definitely clipped him. Just trying to drive it out there too quick. $1.49, but for how much Skittles? So that's always the question. How much Skittle are you getting for your dollar? There's a viewpoint here. Let's take a little detour and see what there is to see in the Dells. Probably to do with that bridge right there. The Dells City. That's an interesting viewpoint. I don't know this is an interesting enough city to warrant a viewpoint when other cities don't have one, but we'll give it. It really just seems like a relatively average American town. Oh, I hear the train. But I don't know where the train is. on fuel. And then we're gonna pull in over here and have a nap. Yep. Matthew's made some money, and Annette has made some money. We paid our loan installment of $7,600, but we're making progress while paying off our loans, so this is good. We're making progress. Let's see what our drivers are doing. Yeah, Annette is now making $1,656 per day on average, and Matthew is making $1,089. So Annette is still definitely doing significantly better, but Annette is also like they're both doing a lot better than they were early on. So I'm happy with both of them. But either way, that is where we will call it for today. We'll save our progress. Oh, not James 12, James 1. There. We've saved our progress, and it is time to leave. So you all have a good evening or a good afternoon, depending on where exactly you are. And good morning, good night, whatever it is for anyone who tunes in later. Thanks for thanks for joining. We'll see you maybe tomorrow, or I'll be here tomorrow. Maybe you'll be here tomorrow too.